What's going on, everybody? My name is Bobby G, aka Bobby Bookworm. And today, even though I'm feeling the allergies kind of kicking my butt today, I decided to do a book review because I haven't done one of those in quite some time, actually. The newest book that I have is a fiction novel. It's by an author named Joel Rosenberg. For those who may not know, I'm a big Joel Rosenberg guy. I have quite a few of his novels, and I have a couple of his non-fiction books as well. Well, which he has a few of those, but he's mostly a novelist. This one is called The Beirut Protocol, a Marcus Riker novel. The reason that it says a Marcus Riker novel is because this is a fourth book in a series. The first one is the Kremlin Conspiracy. The second one is the Persian Gamble. The third one is the Jerusalem Assassin, which some of you may have seen me post up here a while back. And this is the fourth book in that particular series. I'm going to try to not give too many spoilers away for those of you who like a good yarn, especially if it's a good story. This book, in terms of what genre it is a political thriller with some action thrown in there. It's very well written. Joel Rosenberg, to kind of give some background on the author, for those who don't know, is a dual American-Israeli citizen, and someone who has a very fruitful and fertile imagination. The books that he writes, and then this particular series with the character of Marcus Riker, and who's the lead, and as well with the rest of the supporting cast of this series, was done very, very well. He has a very, very good thumb on the pulse of what's going on in the Middle East and kind of how things are playing out. It's eerie. I'll just put it like this. A lot of the books that he's written, the fiction novels, have been eerily prophetic. I don't necessarily know whether or not he's trying to do that intentionally and try to do some subliminal messages. You know, I'm not in his head, so I can't say that, whether it's true or not. What I can say is these stories, Marcus Riker, I mean, just, you know, his past, his the world building within this particular series, it's historical fiction, but it is still fiction, but again, it is eerily prophetic. This particular place is, as you might be able to guess by the Beirut Protocol, has to do with the Middle East, maybe Lebanon, maybe. But no, it's you know, it's someone who, he's a character who, just to kind of give his character's background, the fictional biography of Marcus Riker is one of military, Secret Service, DSS, and eventually CIA. And then a lot of the supporting cast has to deal with certain friends and family members, as all good novels do. And also, Joel Rosenberg, while he is a person of faith, what I find interesting is that these particular books, he's not in the Christian book section at all. More specifically, he's not in the Christian fiction section at all. At all. And I think part of that is because the way he writes this series, and not just this series, but I think how he writes books in general, especially whether it's fiction or nonfiction, is he's not cheesy with it. You know, he's not just, just one prayer and everything gets all better. It doesn't go that way at all. It's very much grounded in realism. Like I said, he very much has a keen and astute observation of what goes on in terms of politics within the current world that we live, both here in the U.S. as well as abroad, particularly in the Middle East. Like I said, he's a dual American-Israeli citizen. Like I said, it's a political thriller. You know, just really, really well written. I really don't know how else to put it. You know, you've got some real life organizations that are put into this book. You have a couple of fictional organizations that far as we know, don't exist, but he plays them in a very interesting way. There are senators in this book. There's a president in here. There's different organizations that are mentioned, and I just think it's just very, very well done. My imagination, as far as how well it is for me, my imagination is really able to just read books like this, like the Beirut Protocol, and just go there. Like my mind can just go there and see the world that he's building, and sees the realism of it. Again, even though it's historical fiction, but it's just very, very well done. I would say that on the one hand, this is a good standalone book, even though it is part of a series. It can stand on its own. It can be something as an independent story. You can just kind of look at it in the background. I would also say at the same time, though, if you like a good story arc, I would say don't just get the Beirut Protocol first. I would say start with the Kremlin Conspiracy, then, and then go to the Persian Gamble and the Jerusalem Assassin, and then finally finish with the Beirut Protocol, because then you'll really begin to see a wider world, and you'll really get to see how Joel Rosenberg really does world building in terms of historical fiction and political thrillers. Like I said, I'm trying very hard not to give too much away, especially if you like a good book, if you like a good yarn. I don't know if he has these on audio yet or not. That I could not tell you. What I will say, though, is that if you find it on audio, if somebody else finds it on audio, let me know. If I find out first, I'll just say thanks. But no, it's really good. It's really good, and it's really one that, is, in a way, it's escapist, but it's not. And I say it's escapist because, as I said, my imagination could go there and really picture the story, but at the same time, there are some realistic elements in these books that some parts of the books he's written, some of the novels, have actually come to pass, which is really eerie. Case in point is the last book in this series that I read, which is The Jerusalem Assassin, before this one came out. And there's some stuff in there that actually came to pass in real life, and I was like, ooh. Matter of fact, one novel he wrote, I think he actually got investigated for. Kind of like what happened with Tom Clancy when he wrote Hunt for October. But all that to say is, I say that to say that Rosenberg, if you want a good author, what Clancy was for my parents' generation, and to an extent my generation, I would say Rosenberg is the good successor to pick up that baton and keep it going. I don't know of any other authors that do it this well. I've heard a few. Maybe I'll get those books of those said authors. We'll see. But yeah, this is just my book review. It's just my take on it. Again, without trying to give too many spoilers away. I highly recommend it. Check it out. If you do get it and it catches your imagination, let me know what you think. This is Bobby aka Bobby Bookworm. This is my book review, and as always, I try to promote reading, and I try to promote books, whether they're fiction or non-fiction, because it gets people to think, and it gets people to look at things in a more objective way. Peace.